Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little different. Actually, not just little different, it's going to be really different than what I'm always so used to doing, which is makeup. Today I'm going to talk about hypothyroid issues and hypothyroidism, and it's about my personal experience and how I'm tackling it so far. So I actually made a list of things that I'm going to touch base basically on food and stuff and all that. So let me see what's in the list. First thing, I have to make this list so that way I don't forget the things that I'm going to talk about. Sometimes I feel like sometimes I just feel like I talk so much and I just keep on going for so long. I tend to go out of track and I talk about things that doesn't matter. But anyways, we're gonna talk straight on the point, so this video is helpful for those of you who are facing hypothyroidism like me. And by all means, guys, I'm not a doctor, so be advised that I'm not a doctor, and that if you have any issues, something like hypothyroidism and stuff, do consult your doctor. On the other hand, I did go to doctors, actually many doctors, to figure out what my issues were, and that's a long story in itself because, anyways, I'm just gonna go right into the whole talk, okay? So, symptoms of thyroid, how I knew that I was getting hypothyroidism. I didn't quite know that I have hypothyroidism till I went to my family doctor a couple of times, and then things happened. So starting November last year, I was actually prior to that, September last year, I started having this keto diet. Everybody was having this keto diet, and I was like, yeah, I wanna like lose some weight because I didn't know why I was gaining so much weight. And I just was like, yeah, I want to go on keto diet. I want to do protein diet, no more carbs, and I want to make like cauliflower rice. I want to make like zucchini noodles, and I just want to have those as my food. So I was having that constantly from September, October, November, and around November I was kind of tired of having the same kind of food, so I kind of went on like a mix-up diet. So there will be days when I'll have like a little amount of rice, but then there will be days when I'm having just cauliflower rice. And I didn't know what was like, there was no wrong at that point. I wasn't facing anything, but I was constantly falling sick. So you guys know that I live in Canada, and in Canada, like, it's really wintry around like November, December, January, February. It's pretty winter. It's cold. It's just like very snowy, and it just gets really freezing cold. So I was falling sick constantly. Like I was getting flu, I was getting cold, I was getting runny nose and sore throat, constant sore throat, and I didn't know why I was getting sore throat. So later in January this year, I started having lumps around my neck. So I didn't feel a lot of lumps here, but I felt a lot of lumps here, and we have these are called like I don't know, what are these called? Hold on, these lumps are basically, sometimes you have those reactive reactive nodes. That's what it's called, reactive nodes. And I was having these reactive nodes here that was swollen, and I went to my doctor because I was really nervous and I thought I have cancer. I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I have cancer. Because okay, there came a point in February, like early first 2 weeks, I couldn't sleep. I was having like anxiety issue before going to bed. I was sweating at times, and I was feeling like, oh my god, I'm like burnt. I'm feeling so hot. And then there are times when I'm feeling like extremely cold, and I didn't know like why it was happening to me. And at the same time, I couldn't swallow. So like it won't be an issue when I'm eating food, but like if I'm swallowing sometimes we swallow our saliva, like we're talking and we tend to like, our throat gets dry, so we swallow. And I could feel like a lump somewhere here, like it's bothering me. I couldn't feel it from the outside, but I could feel it from my inside that it was bothering me. And then the other symptom that I was having is super dry throat. I was drinking water like crazy. I told my mom thought that's like, she was like, oh my gosh, you're drinking so much water and it could be like diabetic issue. Maybe you have diabetes or something, because I eat a lot of sugar. So she's like, maybe you have diabetes or some shit. And I was, at this point, I was like, okay, I had enough. I need to find out, like, I hate going to doctors, but I need to find out if there's something wrong with me. So I went to my family doctor. She looked at my lumps and everything, like she touched my neck and she's like, oh, these are normal things. I'll give you like antibiotics. Just have them, it should go away. Maybe they're just reactive nodules. You just got cold or flu, whatever, that's what happened. Okay, I took her word for it and I finished the whole damn bottle of antibiotics and nothing happened. So I was like, okay, this is not working. I need to go see a doctor again. I went back to my family doctor like this almost 5 or 6 times. Like, I literally went back to her and I couldn't even sleep at night. I was having the same symptoms. I didn't know what was happening to me. I really had no idea. Then I went to another doctor from the same clinic, but she's another doctor. She's this Egyptian doctor, and she looked at me and she's like, she heard my symptoms, and then she told me like, did you do your blood test? And I was like, no, I didn't. Like, my family doctor didn't ask me to do a blood test. And she's like, okay, that's the first thing I would advise you to do is go get your blood test. So I got my blood test done. My THS was high 47. When it is supposed to be between 2 to 5, mine was high 47. I definitely had hypothyroidism. And she looked at me, she's like, okay, so looks like you have hypothyroid, but I'm gonna go get you checked for T3 and T4. My T3 and T4 was completely off, and that's another reason. Don't just look at your THS, because THS can be a little high or a little low, sometimes depending on how much stress level you have in life, but clearly not high 47. That's just completely off, way high than expected. So then she told me to get my T3 and T4 done. I got my T3 and T4 done and it was also very off. So clearly my body was not producing enough T3 or T4 for my thyroid to function. And so all of this was said and done. My doctor gave me medicine to take, which is called lyvothyroxine. It's a synthetic hormone that is ingested in your body, and what happens with that is there are symptoms. Yes, you're going to feel better. The reaction is very slow again. Once you start taking levothyroxine, you don't feel better right away. It takes some time for you to feel better. So it took me about around 3 to 4 weeks to feel better, but the effect that it had on me was completely, like, I didn't like it. It was like, sure, it made my thyroid function really well, but what it did do is I was getting a huge amount of hair fall. I was losing weight. Okay, I was shedding a lot of water weight. That's what's happening. But I was like having craziest hair fall. My eyebrows were falling off. My lashes were falling off. My muscle will twitch at times, so I'll have twitch around my muscle, and that apparently is one of the symptoms when it doesn't suit you. She did put me on a 50 mcg, which is not a high dose, but still I was having crazy amount of twitches on my muscles, and my eyes will feel super dry when I get up in the morning. I almost feel like I was getting blind because my vision was very blurry. So I didn't know what was happening to me at that point. But I knew that this medication is a symptom, so I looked it up on Google and I found out that this is what the symptoms could be like. So I took it for 4 weeks, and I am not gonna lie, guys, I felt like I'm 27 and I was having these medication every day at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. I almost felt like I am someone who's really, really old, and I never like having medication. So the fact that I was relying so heavily on a synthetic hormone, the problem with having synthetic hormone is, yeah, there are side effects to it too, but there's a long-term effect to it. Basically, your body relies on that synthetic hormone so much that it basically stops producing its own hormones for your body, because you're just ingesting more more hormones in your body, and your body realizes, oh, I don't think I need to make any hormones because I'm already getting hormones from exterior sources, so I need to stop making that additional hormone. So I don't want to do that. I don't want this medication. So I asked my doctor, can I stop? She's like, no, you can't stop. You need to have this medication. Once you start, you can't stop. You need to continue this. Otherwise, your thyroid is going to come back really strong. I was scared at the same time to stop it, but I was also, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I'll be honest, guys, those weeks when I was trying to quit this medication was like I was in such a dilemma. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was getting more and more depressed and frustrated at the fact that I was taking this medication. And I was like, there must be some other way, like, please. So one fine day, my alarm went off, and my husband's like, oh, do you don't want to take your medication? I was like, no, you know what? I'm quitting. I don't want this medication anymore, and this is it. I'm going to call it off completely. I don't want to take this medication. I'm going to try to find a way to resolve this problem myself. So by the 4th week, I did my fair share of research. So here's what I found out, okay? And I did speak to it about this to my doctor as well. But my doctor asked me if I have changed anything in my diet. Clearly, keto was the one thing that I did that was different, okay? Now, I find out people who have symptoms of hypothyroid, right? Where you have a little bit of thyroid, but it's not like, uncontrollable. Like, maybe it's like 5.9, 5.2, a little high above the normal, but not to your point like it's super, super high. So in that case, please do not go on keto diet. Don't be like me. Don't make that mistake. You need to avoid foods like goitergenous food. What is goiter? Goiter is this part. So anything that affects your thyroid, you need to stop it. So basically, they are cauliflower, broccolis, cabbage, soybeans. You need to stop them right away. So no cauliflower, no broccolis, no cabbage, no soybeans or anything like that. You need to stop them right away, because they actually, like, it will stop the production of your T3 and T4 and your thyroid, and it attacks your thyroid gland. So you need to stop having those vegetables, okay? Wrong misconception, right? We always say, oh, this is vegetable, should be good for our body. Fruits should be good for our body. We shouldn't be eating so much of red meat, this, that, milk, whatever, so much, because it affects your body. Diet is such a thing. It is different for every single person. So what is good to you is not necessarily good to me, because my body reacts differently. Okay, so good thing about people with hypothyroid is that you can eat anything and everything other than those items, but you are open to eating anything else, okay? Like, you can have your ice cream. Ice cream is very high on iodine. You can definitely go have lots of ice cream, and it's really good for your hypothyroid. You can have red meat, you can have chicken, you can have lots of seafood. Seafood is amazing. Again, it has a lot of iodine in it. And you need a food that has selenium. For selenium, I eat Brazil nuts. It looks really nice. I will put the link down below to show you what Brazil nuts look like. They are so good. They're very high in selenium, and I'm having them almost literally every single day. At least 100 gram. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure, but I'll put it down in the description below. But I take a handful, like I pick it up with my hand, and that's the amount I take every day. Okay. Now, what else? I just want to make sure I'm on track and I don't forget things. So when you have hypothyroid, what happens is your body lacks iodine. Okay. Now you may think, oh, iodine is in the salt. I eat salt anyway in every food, so that's fine. But here is the thing though. Iodine cannot be found in table salt. The way to test if your salt at home has iodine or not is get some potato juice, like get some potato and cut it and just try to get some juice out of it, and then pour some salt in it and then put some lemon on top of it and see if it turns pink. If it turns pink, it has iodine. If it doesn't turn pink, it has nothing in there. If it turns like a little like brown or orange or yellow, it is pure sodium. Avoid sodium. This is one thing you need to avoid is sodium. Now, a lot of the canned food, preservative food, and all those food that has preservatives in there definitely has sodium. You need to avoid sodium at all costs, right? Basically just avoid it. Transfer your salt taking into iodine and basically go for pink Himalayan salt. Those are really good. It has some iodine in it. It's better to have some than none at all. And try to avoid table salt as much as you can. Those are really harmful. And what is good is drink milk. Now, the reason why I'm saying drink milk is people with hypothyroid usually have issues with their digestion system. So that's basically what I had. I had a huge digestion system. After I got married, I realized my food that I eat wasn't digesting well. I would often have nights with heartburn and gas attacks. So I would not eat anything, which is again my mistake. I should have taken like a Eno or some kind of gastric medication to reduce the gas in my body, but I didn't. I thought it's okay, morning I'll get up, it should be fine. But that is damaging to my body because that is basically what ruined my liver system from digesting the food in a proper way. So what do you do to take care of this? This is what my dad suggested and it's really working for me. Drink a glass of cold milk, organic, before going to bed. That milk reduces your gastric attack. It doesn't cause any heartburn, and overnight it heals the stomach lining, and it's really good because you need something to heal the stomach lining so your food can digest, your food can be digesting better, right? So to help your food digest better, you need to first improve your gut system, your liver, your stomach, your digestion in general. So that's what you need to do. Okay, so this is what I do. I drink a glass of cold milk before going to bed. Morning when I get up, people who likes to lose weight, I know they like having apple cider vinegar. I would say people with hypothyroidism don't drink apple cider vinegar just because it is a little too strong for your stomach lining. So keep it soft. Have a warm glass of water, like a full warm glass of water with a little bit of lemon squeezed in it. Much natural, much better, and it's much better than your apple cider vinegar. Alright? Okay, so what else? Okay, so now what do I drink? What do I eat? Okay, so now we're gonna talk about what I eat in the morning for my breakfast, for my lunch, and for my dinner. So very simple. Morning when I get up in the morning, I eat a banana. I boil 2 eggs, and that's basically it. And I eat a little bit of like a handful of Brazil nuts. Now, of course, first thing when you get up, you're gonna drink a warm glass of water with lemon in there. Give yourself 1 hour break. Then have your bananas and your eggs and a handful chunk of Brazil nuts, right? Okay, for lunch, I like to always have salmon because I know salmon has a lot of iodine in it. So seafood is the best thing you can have. So I like to have that. with some boiled shrimps. And then I like to have potato mash, or I like to eat a little bit of rice. Sometimes I make it very Bengali dish, so I'm Bengali, so I make it very Bengali. I make a little bit of ilish mach, which is like hilsa fish. I make a little bit of ilish mach with the rice. I make Okras, which is a lot of, I know the Indian continent usually call it as lady's finger, but I like to make a little bit of okra. That's more of the North American term. Lady's finger is the same thing as okra. Now I like to make a little bit of okra, or as you guys call it, brinjal, but we call it eggplant. So you know, I know there's two different terms for British in North America, but anyways, yeah. So the Bengali dish, right? So I make ilish mach, a little bit of rice, bhat, and maybe dal is pretty good, like lentil is pretty good, and eat it with a little bit of okra or dherosh, which is what we say in Bengali. Dherosh, okra is the same thing as lady's finger. And you can have anything else, like chicken curry is fine, everything else is just fine. Like, eat your desi food, they're so much better, eat that, okay? Sure, if you want to lose weight and you don't want to take so much of rice, don't do it. Just take 1 cup of rice, right? Take less amount of rice, eat more vegetables, eat more fish, eat more chicken, that's better. Okay, at nighttime I do the same thing. I usually eat either mach, like fish, or chicken, or beef, with vegetable like, you know, okras or eggplant. These two vegetables are actually really good. You also have the squash, which is lau. Lau is very good for your body as well, which is, lau is what we call in Bengali, and squash is, I think, the English term. You can have that too, that's pretty good as well. Potatoes are really good for people with hypothyroid, so, and this is exactly what I mean. You know, tomatoes, eggplants, okras, potatoes are not something, you know, is advised for keto diet. See, keto diet is not good for hypothyroid people, so I would say stop it and get on your regular food. That's absolutely fine. You have to remember, with hypothyroid, you can't do interval fasting. You can't do interval fasting at all. Because with hypothyroid patient, if you keep your stomach empty for more than 3 to 4 hours, it's going to come back and attack your thyroid. Do not do that. Try to eat everything, anything, keep yourself always munching onto something, but munch onto something good. Now, evening time, before the time from my lunch hour to my dinner, so I eat my lunch around like 1 o'clock and my dinner around 7 or 8 p.m. So the time in between, I like to either have ice cream, a bowl of ice cream, or I like raspberries and blueberries. I mix them up together with natural yogurt, no flavor yogurt, and I put those in there and I have that. And then at 8 p.m. I usually have my dinner, and then after my dinner around like 10 or 11 p.m. I drink a glass of cold milk, and I just, after like half an hour or something, I just go to bed. Now throughout the day, remember to drink water. Drink at least 5 to 6 glasses of water. Now we're going to talk about water. If you're living in North American countries, we have a tendency to just open up the tap and take the water and drink that. Try to avoid that, because if you have hypothyroid, things like chlorine and Florine will affect you big time. It's going to bother your thyroid production. So don't drink water straight out of the tap, because usually chlorine and Florine is what is used to you know, kind of filter the dirt in the water and to make it more drinkable. So I would say get a filter that you can attach with your faucet, or get like a filter jug, or get a water filter in general and just have from there. That way you filter out majority of the chlorine and Florine that comes in your tap water. Now another thing that you need to avoid is drinking water from a plastic container, which is going to release a lot of BNB. BNB is really harmful for people with hypothyroid. It is just harmful for anybody and everybody. So avoid that and just drink water from a glass container. So get a glass like bottle, right? Put some water and put it by somewhere where you get a lot of sun. That way you're recharging the water, and that water is really good. What else to avoid is avoid gluten, yeast, and soy. So you need to avoid these 3 things. So clearly you can't have a lot of the chocolates you get in the shops, or because a lot of them actually has gluten and yeast in it. Avoid bread, roti, parathas, avoid them. Okay, so now we're going to talk about workout. So I work out sometimes 3 days a week or 2 days a week. So usually I do like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. If it's twice a week, I just go on Tuesday and Thursdays. I try to as much as I can because of my accident too. I had a car accident 2 years ago. I have some issues with my shoulder, especially my left shoulder. So a lot of the times I can't do a lot of heavy weights and stuff. So whenever I go, I tend to walk or do interval training, which is like 2 minutes of crazy run, and then I just walk for another 3 minutes, and stuff like that. So whatever works for your body, how much your body can take, do that much only. Don't force yourself to overdo than your body can take, so don't do that. And what else? Okay, the best thing for hypothyroid people is obviously to run, because hypothyroid people like myself do not get to lose weight so fast because you're always retaining water weight. The way to shed your water weight is to sweat it out. The way to do it is obviously to run, to do a lot of cardio, basically that. Well, you can do weight training too. Like for example, you can take little weights and do a couple of reps. So maybe rep of 30 to 50 and take a couple of weight. Don't take a lot of weight. I tend to take between 5 to 20 pounds, right? So I don't, first of all, because of my accident, I have a little bit injury on my left shoulder. I can't even take so much weight, so I tend to just take a little bit of weight and do a lot of reps with it. What else? The other thing that as a hypothyroid patient you can do is yoga. I've been loving yoga. I will actually link down this lady's yoga classes that she teaches online on her YouTube channel. She's amazing, and I have done a couple of the asanas that she does, and they are so good. They are so good. It worked out like magic for me. The best yoga workout for your hypothyroid is to put your head down and your leg up to the ceiling. Best workout ever. All that blood that flows into your neck and your brain, it basically activates your thyroid. Like it's just crazy, and it works like magic. It works like magic, guys. Sorry, my camera got cut off. The first 2 weeks that I did that yoga where I put my head down and my leg up to the ceiling, of course, we're not a pro. I can't really do put my head straight. I always try to lift as much as I can. That's why I'm saying I will link down her channel below so you can see the style of yoga she does. It's very easy to do, and it's very easy for the newcomers or first timers like myself and whoever is having this hypothyroid issue. If you do it, it will work out like magic. Okay, so these are some of the things that I've been doing to resolve my hypothyroid issues, and I think I am becoming successful at it. It is a still ongoing process, but it has come a long way for the last 7 weeks. So this is why I made this video, because it seems to be working for me, and I hope it works out for you as well. The other thing that I just got it today, I haven't got a chance to try it yet, is actually called Thyro Smart. It is not a synthetic hormone that you're gonna basically take in your body. It's nothing like that. It is actually like a multivitamin for people who has thyroid issues. So this is by Lorna. This is actually by Lorna Vender. Hagen. I can't tell, anyways, whatever it is, but it is by Lorna. This, I believe she's a doctor, and she came up with this Thyro Smart vitamin tablet. This is so good. And it is all vegetarian capsules. There's no meat in it, and it's 60 of them in the bottle. What it has, I'll just tell you in general. It has selenium. Similarly, I eat those Brazil nuts. It has selenium in there. Iodine. I have a lot of salmon fish, so that's why it's perfect. You know, instead of having the salmon, you can also have this. It has magnesium, copper. Magnesium, copper can be found in berries and stuff like that, so it's absolutely fine, but you can also have it here. It's already in here. One thing that I don't get to do is this something called L-tyrosine. I don't really get to have that, but I think it's pretty amazing because it's everything in here. And this is not a synthetic hormone, so this is why I bought it. It's still sealed in. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna give you feedback on it on maybe a part 2 or something that I do on this thyroid video. But it's amazing. So far it looks good to me, and I definitely want to give it a shot and see how it works for me. But yeah, that'll be all for thyroid medication and how I have tried to control it. I hope this video is helpful for those of you out there who is suffering hypothyroid just like myself. And yeah, so I hope this helps, and pray for me, guys, so that way I get better. And I hope all of you guys out there who are suffering from hypothyroid, you feel better as well. And honestly, keep yourself energized. And another thing you don't want to do is sleep during daytime. That will ruin your thyroid, so don't do that. That is basically a sign of laziness. Whenever you feel like you're getting lazy, sleepy, which most of the hypothyroid patients like myself, we feel lazy unnecessarily and tired, just catch on an activity and do that. Get onto some activities, right? Get onto painting, drawing, do something else, but don't go onto the bed and lay down because you're gonna fall asleep, and then you know you're just basically encouraging your thyroid to go even crazier on you. So don't do that. That's it, guys. Basically that's all for the video today. I hope this video will help you out, and I basically am sharing what I'm doing on myself and how I have been doing it. But then again, it's my body, and I know how my body reacts to certain style of things that I do. But I would definitely say consult your doctor before doing anything. Don't just barely listen to me, but do what your body, do what you feel is you're strong at and your body can handle. That's all. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll come back soon with a new makeup tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.